a proper concentration of the levodopa into the CNS, we should anyhow we should CUMT this enzymes, we should catch these enzymes, right? And so that this enzyme will not work properly. So how to catch this enzyme, how to tell this enzyme not to work properly? So we have to add one more therapy of the pharmacological agent. In the combination of levodopa and the carbidopa, we should add inhibitors such as the CUMT inhibitors. But in the peripheral tissue, we are nowadays we are adding entacapone. Okay, we are adding the entacapone in the peripheral tissue. Previously we are adding the tolcapone as well, but the tolcapone will not give a desired effect, so we are giving the entacapone nowadays. So the proper therapy of the Parkinson's patient of the first line of the drug might be, or which is very useful, we are giving. So what is this therapy? Where is my black pen? Here. Okay, so first line of drug is levodopa, the combination of levodopa, carbidopa and entacapone or tolcapone, right? The capone family, CUMT inhibitors. So this is the first line of drug, we are giving this. The problem does not solve here. Anyhow, if the patient of the Parkinson's, you know something about the on and off phenomena of the levodopa. Okay, as soon as the patient is taking the levodopa previously or in the first days of the treatment, when the patient is using such treatment, or the physician gave the levodopa, carbidopa and the tolcapone in the therapy previously, in the first days the patient will get relief, right? But we have something called toxicity level, right? As patient is more hunger to those drugs, the concentration we will require is much more, right? So after a few days the patient is feeling something like, for a few time the patient is in the akinesia, hypokinesia, rigidity and the tremors are get resolved. But after some times or between two doses, there is one period in which the patient feels something like akinetic, he will feel something like hypokinetic, and the rigidity and stiffness and all those conditions due to the acetylcholine increase might increase. Okay, so how to resolve those patients in which we have a on phenomena of levodopa, and then before taking the another dose in that day, there is off phenomena as well. So how to resolve this on and off phenomena of levodopa? After having this concern to the physician, the physician come up with the new drugs or the new classes of drugs, such as the monoamine inhibitors drugs, CUMT inhibitor drugs. Such as those drugs are the holistic drugs in this treatment. We can give the dopamine agonist as well to the patient in which the levodopa treatment is causing the on and off phenomena. We'll be discussing about the on and off phenomena in the in the section of the videos when we are going to discuss about the pathophysiology of the Parkinson's disease. But now for the simplicity of these videos, we are discussing about the pharmacological aspect. I touch only the simplest or the superficial aspect of on and off phenomena, right? So this is caused by the levodopa. So how to resolve this? The patient might use the dopamine agonist. So what all the dopamine agonist, the physicians are using dopamine agonist, such as dopamine agonist. I think you are saying this videos, right? Dopamine agonist. Okay, so what all are the drugs which are under the dopamine agonist? Under this drug we are having such as a bromocriptine and pramipexole, we are having ropinirole. Okay, actually we are having these three drugs. Before describing these drugs, we can classify this dopamine agonist into the two class as well, such as it can be classified into the this bromocriptine can be classified into an ergot alkaloids, right? These are the ergots and these are the non-ergots. This is more important, right? Nowadays we are using the non-ergots alkaloids such as the pramipexole and ropinirole. Previously, when these non-ergots are not being discovered, we are using the bromocriptine, which is an ergot alkaloid. This drug will cause an undesirable side effect as well, but as far as these drugs are concerned, pramipexole and ropinirole, they don't have any side effects, right? So this is the best drug which we are using nowadays, pramipexole and ropinirole. So to cause this on and off phenomena to does not happen again, we are giving pramipexole and ropinirole in those off phenomenon interval, right? So after giving this, the third line of drug which we are using nowadays, such as we are using there should be a drug, right, which can increase the synthesis of dopamine. They can be used to help in the storage of dopamine, okay, storage and they can be used to help in the release of dopamine and these all symptoms. And there should be a drug which can decrease the reuptake of dopamine. So we should have such a drug which can help in the synthesis, storage, release of dopamine, and which helps in the reuptake of dopamine again, right? So this is a drug which is named as an amantadine. So we are using nowadays the amantadine as well here in the Parkinson's patient. So after amantadine, the fourth line of drug we are using nowadays, such as the MAO inhibitors. We are using the MAO inhibitors. So these MAO inhibitors are examples. These inhibitors are selegiline, raselegiline, safinamides. So these are drugs which we are using nowadays, such as to help so that the MAO enzyme will not degrade the synaptic dopamine level. So we are using nowadays the MAO inhibitors as well. After the MAO inhibitors, there should be an enzyme, there should be a drug which can help which can help in the COMT inhibitors. So we are using the COMT inhibitors as well nowadays. So what are the COMT inhibitors? They are not the L-capone, they are tolcapone and entacapone. I think you know about the L-capone, right? The mafia in the Chicago, right? So these drugs are not L-capone, they are the tolcapone and the entacapone, same as the family of L-capone, right? We can have that way thinking as well. So after these drugs which can help to restore the balance of dopamine in the brain, we are having a drug which can which can help to reduce the level of acetylcholine in the brain, such as they are anticholinergic drugs. So what are the anticholinergic drugs we are using nowadays, such as the benzotropine, trihexyphenidyl, we are using nowadays, orphendrine orphendrines can be used, and procyclidine can be used. We are using the procyclidine. We can use the biparidone. So these are the drugs which are used to reduce the level of acetylcholine, compensatory increase in level of acetylcholine, benzotropine, trihexyphenidyl, orphanedrine, prozaclidine, and biperidone. These drugs are the drugs of therapy to control the level of increase in acetylcholine, and the drugs which are used to reduce which can restore the level of dopamine due to the decrease in level of dopamine in the Parkinson's patients. So these are the drug therapy which we are using in the Parkinson's patient. I hope you like the cover of mine. If do so, please like, share and subscribe my channel and press the bell icon for more informative videos like this. We'll be continuing about the CNS drugs in the next section of the videos. So I thank you for attention.